Parabel, wisdom waits for those who listen. The inner giant. You are not small. Why do you constantly feel small? You scroll through your feed and see them, the powerful CEOs, the famous artists, the wealthy innovators. You compare your quiet, internal life to their thundering public existence, and the result is always the same: a deep, aching feeling of inadequacy. You feel like a pebble in a landscape of mountains. But this feeling is a lie, a profound misunderstanding of human scale. You are not meant to be a giant in the eyes of others. You are meant to discover the true, immeasurable giant that already resides within you, the one that requires no applause, no recognition, no external validation to exist. This is the story of the inner giant. If you want to discover the magnitude you've been ignoring your entire life, subscribe now, because every week I bring you a new parable to strengthen your mind and reveal your true power. The worn-out seeker. The young seeker had been traveling for years, but the more he saw, the smaller he felt. He had witnessed vast armies, ancient crumbling cities, and mountains that scraped the sky. Each one made him feel more insignificant. He sat with the wise old man at the foot of a colossal black oak tree, its branches wider than any house. The seeker was slumped, defeated, staring at the ground. "Master," he said, his voice hollow, "I have failed." The old man said nothing. He simply watched. "I spent all this time trying to become significant," the seeker continued, frustration rising in his voice. "Trying to achieve something grand. Yet every time I look out at the world, at this ancient tree, at the ruins of empires, at the sheer scale of the universe, I am crushed." He looked up, eyes wet with frustration. "I am nothing but a speck of dust. I cannot become the giant I wish to be." The old man's face remained calm. "You are mistaken. You do not lack magnitude. You lack understanding of where true magnitude resides." He stood, pointing to the jagged peaks that towered above them. "You seek to be the mountain, but you have forgotten the power of the mirror. Come, we climb higher today. We are going to the solitary lake." The climb to stillness. The ascent was long and silent. The path led to a desolate, high-altitude bowl ringed by bare rock. In the center lay the solitary lake, a perfectly still, dark oval of water that never froze, even in the harshest winds. There were no trees, no birdsong, no life, only the wind and the silence. The old man led the seeker to the water's edge. "Look into the lake. What do you see?" The seeker peered into the mirror-like surface. "I see the sky, master. I see the peaks of the mountains that surround us. I see the vastness of the cosmos, cold and indifferent." He paused, then added quietly, "And I see my own reflection, small, tired, and insignificant." "Good," the old man said. "You see the world. But now tell me, which is bigger, the mountain that towers over us, or the reflection of the mountain in this lake?" The seeker almost laughed. "The mountain itself, of course. The reflection is merely a copy. Wrong. The mirror that holds the cosmos. The old man crouched and tapped the water with a finger. Ripples spread across the surface. The world, the mountain, the sky, the seeker's face shattered into 1,000 fragments. Look, the old man said, the reflection is fragile. A single careless movement from outside destroys its image. Yet, when the water is still, it holds the vastness of the universe effortlessly. He paused, watching the ripples fade. Does it complain of the weight of the stars? Does it struggle to hold the height of the mountain? No, it simply is. The water settled back to perfect stillness. The mountain, the sky, the cosmos, all returned, held perfectly in the lake's calm surface. You seek to be a giant in the world, a mountain of fame, a river of influence. But the world already is the mountain and the river. He looked at the seeker. You are the solitary lake. Your true magnitude is not in how large you are, but in your capacity to receive, reflect, and hold the world without being overwhelmed by it. Take a deep breath and let that truth settle in your spirit. Release the tension in your shoulders. Just be here for a moment. The internal landscape. The seeker stood silent, staring at the lake. His breathing slowed. His mind cleared. He began to understand. I see it, he whispered. I have been measuring my worth by the content of the reflection, the size of the mountain outside, but the true power is the stillness of the water itself. Exactly, the old man said. This is your inner giant. It is not your accomplishments, your wealth, or your titles. It is the core of your mind, the part of you that chooses how to react, how to judge, and what to value. He gestured to the towering peak. The mountain is the challenge, the external event. You cannot control the mountain. He touched the water's surface. The stillness of the water is your judgment, your character, your response. You have absolute control over the stillness of your own water. The old man swept his hand toward the desolate landscape. Why do you think I brought you to this barren place? It is high, remote, and lifeless. Yet this lake requires nothing from the outside world. It reflects the sun, but it does not need the sun to exist. It reflects the mountain, but it does not need the mountain for its worth. It is self-sufficient. He looked at the seeker with piercing eyes. You are the same. Your true worth does not come from the external giants you reflect. It comes from the quiet, self-sustaining stillness of your own soul. The only magnitude that matters is the purity of your own character. The awakening? The seeker finally smiled, a deep, peaceful smile that reached his eyes for the first time in years. I have been trying to make the mountain move, he said, when I should have been tending to my own water. When the water is disturbed, the whole world is chaos. When the water is still, the world is perfect clarity. The old man nodded. The only giant that matters is the one who judges your own actions. If you live a life of virtue, integrity, and self-control, that inner giant will stand tall and say, "Well done." He placed a hand on the seeker's shoulder, and when that giant speaks, the applause of the entire external world is but a faint echo. Stop worrying about the size of the outside world. Tend to the stillness of your own lake, for when your water is perfectly calm, you will have the capacity to contain the entire universe. The old man smiled, and you will realize you are not a speck of dust. You are the mirror that holds the cosmos. Your solitary lake. You are not insignificant. You are a solitary lake. The next time you feel small, stop comparing yourself to the mountains outside. Instead, look inward. Have you chosen your character wisely? Are your judgments pure? Are your efforts honest? If your inner giant stands tall, then your water is calm. The world outside may be chaotic, but your reflection will remain clear, pristine, and immeasurable. The world doesn't need another noisy giant. It needs a still, reflective soul. If this parable opened your eyes to the magnitude you already possess, subscribe now. Here, you never walk alone. Every week, we climb a new mountain together. Go to the comments right now and declare your understanding. Write in all caps, "I am the mirror." Make this your truth. Let it remind you that the only size that matters is the depth of your character, not the volume of your voice. If this message spoke to your soul, hit the like button so others searching for their own magnitude can find this ancient wisdom. The strength of a human being is measured not by what he conquers, but by what he refuses to carry. Choose the stillness. Be the mirror. Be the giant. Your inner giant is waiting